Hey guys, and welcome to today's show. We're going to preview the big Premier League game between Arsenal and Spurs tomorrow. North London derby. Now, where I'm at is pretty clear. I want Arteta sacked. He hasn't been sacked yet. He should have been sacked after the FA Cup defeat to Manchester United. Shameful. Some things have come out about Kai Havertz and his girlfriend being abused on social media that I categorically, absolutely do not condone. It is wrong. And it's not even Kai Havertz's fault that we lost those games. Manchester United we lost and we drew to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Now I want to touch on Kai Havertz. I've been a massive fan of Kai Havertz since he has been at Arsenal. I've been a fan of Havertz when he was at Chelsea because I understand what he is. He's not a striker. He is a forward who can play anywhere along the front line and even as a number 10. Thomas Tuchel got the best out of him. Mate, he scored in the Champions League final against City that Chelsea won. Then he had a little bit of a dip. The whole of Chelsea had a little bit of a dip and a decline. You can't blame him for that. The whole of Chelsea have been pretty pony previous to this season with the new ownership and such. Then Arteta signs him. From what I can understand, he signs him as the replacement for Granit Xhaka. That didn't work out. Then he realises, I could use him on the front line. And then he gets played as a striker. He does quite well the first season, even scoring clutch goals, but not enough to get us over the line. Okay. So we all identified that we need a striker. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have not bought a striker since his tenure. They have not bought a striker. A proper striker. So I'm guessing that Mikel Arteta has looked at the facts and the figures and all of the contributing goals that all of the forwards can get and think, okay, we only got outscored by Manchester City last season, so we don't need a striker. Saka will score this much. Martinelli, Trossard will score this much. Havertz will score this much. Odegaard will score this much. If they can reach the same levels as they've been set in the last 2 seasons previous to this one. And they haven't. They've all gone backwards. Not just Havertz. Saka's injured. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. Hamstring, grade 3 tear, needs surgery. He's been overplayed. He hasn't been rotated. His minutes have not been managed properly. That is down to Mikel Arteta and the medical team at Arsenal Football Club. They must take responsibility. So I'm not blaming Havertz. Yeah, he missed bare sitters. I've seen that before from even top strikers missing bare sitters. Haaland's had a torrid time. I know that Manchester City had a little bit of a resurgence, but Haaland, ever since he said that stay humble thing to Mikel Arteta and us, he's had a torrid time, missing bare sitters. So I'm not blaming Kai Havertz. I think he's a valuable part of the Arsenal squad and team. And anyone who's watching this video that might be a keyboard warrior and abusing any player or anyone or Kai Havertz or his girlfriend, just don't do it. Let's spread the love. I don't condone it. Let's not do it or encourage others to do it. Because, you know, we're all human beings. We all have feelings and emotions. And Havertz don't deserve it. But it is categorically Mikel Arteta's fault for not identifying our attacking frailties, not by the striker in 5 years. Now, I understand what he's trying to do. He wants hybrid players. Listen, Mikel Arteta doesn't have a philosophy. He's a B-Tech Pep Guardiola, and he just copies Pep. He wants hybrid players. Players that can play multiple positions, like Kai Havertz. But the problem is, those players are not specialised in any position. So, I've got a very old school approach to football. You make a team and a squad of specialist players with 1 or 2 utility players. And I'm going to give you some examples of those teams. And you put those pieces together into a team. And you put your knowledge, input, tactics, motivation together to bring that team together and make that team successful. Specialised goalkeeper, specialised right back, specialised left back, specialised centre backs, specialised holding defensive midfielders, specialised box to box midfielder, specialised attacking midfielder or number 10, specialised wingers left and right, and specialised striker number 9, bagsman, who can get the ball in the back of the net. 20-25 goals a season by himself. Then you have players that are pushing those players in their position so they don't get comfortable. So there's healthy competition within the squad of other players that can also play those positions. You can call them backup players, or you can call them starters that are, you're vying for those positions. The manager knows how to rotate the team and keep the team happy. A good example of that would be Slot with Liverpool this season. He's got multiple starters in the attacking and midfield and defensive positions. He has his key men like Gravenberch, like Van Dijk, like Salah, but he rotates the team. And when he does, because there's such quality players, there isn't such a massive drop-off. Yes, that team was built by Klopp, but Klopp was a master squad builder. And I'm going to touch on that on that Liverpool squad because he had the utility players. Players like Joe Gomez, who could play across the front, the back line. Players like Jota, who could play anywhere across the front line. Players like James Milner, who could play midfield and who could play as a defender. You have 2-3 of them players. Mikel Arteta basically has a whole 11 of utility players. Looking at the back line, 4 defenders who play 4 at the back, but he has got no proper fullbacks, left or right. He's copied Pep, as he does, and he is playing centre-backs as fullbacks. Timber's a centre-back. I don't care what no one says. He's built like a centre-back. He's big, strong. He's a centre-back. He is not a fullback. Fullbacks need to be able to run up and down, overlap, even makes runs inside, but they're up and down, up and down, up and down. Timber can't do that because he's a centre-back. On the left, we had a proper left-back, the young kid from the academy, Kelly. But sometimes he plays Calafiori. And again, Calafiori is not a left-back. He's a centre-back. Or he can play on the left of a 3 if the manager's going to play 3 at the back, 3 centre-backs. And again, when that happens, you haven't got anyone to, help the left-sided forward or the right-sided forward with making distractive runs, with making decoy runs, with overlapping, with giving an option. When Tierney actually came on, Tierney was actually putting crosses into the box like Robinson does, like Trent Alexander-Arnold does, like actual fullbacks do. Specialised fullbacks who can get up and down the line and whipping boxes and whipping crosses into the box. But too bad there was no one to attack it because we ain't got a proper striker. Now this game tomorrow is very important. We've got Spurs at home and we need to win. our slight glimmer of chance to win the Premier League, which I'll be over the moon if we did, hinges on this game. It hinges on this game. And I'll give my prediction for all games that I preview. And I'm predicting we're going to lose 3-1. And the reason I am predicting this we're going to lose is because we look like a team void of confidence. We have a manager full of excuses. His press conference today, I saw a clip on Insta and he was absolutely defending Kai Havertz and saying the abuse he's getting is absolutely wrong, which I agree with him. That's the only thing I've agreed with this gaffer about for ages. I don't agree with the Community Shield winning trophy, and I don't agree with his excuses for being knocked out of the Carabao Cup about the ball being different. I don't agree that he should be proud of the boys in the FA Cup, because they were pony, mate. They were pony. We're going to lose because I think that we know that Tottenham have problems defensively with the injuries, but they got a good attack and they got a better attack than us. Kulusevski, Solanke and Son. And if they click, our defence doesn't look as solid as it has been the last few seasons, and we look void of confidence. I would like us to win. I hope we win. But I think Spurs, there's something that's telling me that I think Spurs are going to do us in our backyard. And if that does happen, then he is on the brink. And then after that, we've got Villa. And we all know that whenever Villa and Emery come up against Arsenal and Arteta, they're always up for it. I'm not going to make any predictions yet. I'm going to do the preview for that game when it's the right time. But I'm predicting 3-1 to Spurs. They have their frailties in defence, as we do. We're not defensively solid anymore, but they have a much better attack than us. And that's just the reality at this precise moment in time. Now, everyone's got, I'm seeing loads of things on transfers and all this and all that and all this. Why do people keep talking about things that are not feasible? Isaac, he's going to cost 120 to 150 million. One of our rivals won't sell to us. They don't need the money unless they want to use that money to fund whatever transfer activity that they want, players they want to bring in. They ain't going to sell to us. Some people have said that, the realistic signings, Sesko, Victor Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres, people that have players that have buyout clauses, players that are available. I am completely Arteta out. I was never Arteta in, but I'm completely Arteta out. I think the best thing for our club is for this manager to be sacked, for us not to buy no one in January. Don't waste the money. For this manager to be sacked and then bring in Allegri, let him do what he can for the rest of the season. Because we're still in the Champions League. Maybe with a manager like Allegri, we can do something in it. Because we can't do nothing with this manager, Arteta. And then he builds the squads with the players he wants. Then on. And I hope if Allegri comes and the next manager comes, I hope this fan base is as patient as they've been with Mikel Arteta. Because they weren't with Emery. Arteta seems to have a weird cult following. They seem to support Arteta for some reason. Or reasons more than the club. So for those fans who have got this weird connection and cult following to Mikel Arteta, when he is sacked, go to the same club. Please change your team to the same club that he will join, wherever it is, or whoever it is, and support that club. Because your cult leader, Mikel Arteta, is going there. So don't follow your cult leader and support the club that he will be at. Because it doesn't make sense. He has not got any credit in the bank. That FA Cup in 2020, no. Unai Emery's team, well, it was Wenger's and Emery's team. Emery was starting to put his print on it, but it was Wenger and Emery's team. And, no. I don't. The players that got you there, the players that got in those cups, he effed them off. For whatever reason, and hasn't replaced them. Hasn't replaced the Aubameyang yet, or Lacazette. There's still place for them in this squad. They're better than Havertz. So yeah, look, this is where I'm at. I would rather you sack him now because he is not good enough. I was reading something that Josh Kroenke's actually here in London. He's flown over probably to discuss transfer business or any potential transfer targets. But save your money, Josh. Just sack this fraud. He's not capable. He's a good talker. He's like Arsenal's Gareth Southgate. Someone called him, Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers. No, he's not. He's not even that good. He's not even as good as Brendan. Brendan won trophies with Leicester. He's done something in Celtic. Yeah, whatever. It's Celtic. Don't care. He's done something in Celtic. He came close to winning the Premier League with Liverpool, except for the slip. He didn't have total power like Arteta has at Arsenal. Brendan didn't have that at Liverpool. He had transfer committees that he had to do with. So he's not even, I wouldn't even put Arteta in the same bracket as Rodgers. He is Arsenal's version of Gareth Southgate. Great talker, statesman, but won't deliver nothing. Nearly man, won't deliver nothing. Torrid football as well. If the football's torrid, you have to win. If not, then that's just another excuse for him to be gone. So, this is where we are at. 2 big games coming up for Arsenal and this manager. You've heard my prediction for the game tomorrow. I think that Tottenham's attack will basically be strong enough to get the job done because Arsenal are absolutely devoid of ideas and devoid of any confidence. And it's a derby, so both teams are going to be up for that. They're going to be up for that. Yep, they are going to be up for that battle. So look, as far as I'm concerned, the right things for the Arsenal hierarchy to do is to see how we get on. Don't give this manager any more money. You've given him 750, 800 million. Don't give him any more money. See where we're at. I spoke to one of my friends and he supports Galatasaray. And obviously he loves Osimhen. Osimhen's doing bits out there. He's bagging goals. Proper bags, man. And he said that Mikel Arteta won't even know how to use Osimhen. He will destroy him, a player of that quality. And I thought, you know what? He might be right, He might be right. Because players usually go backwards under this manager. I would rather, this would be my ideal scenario. Osimhen's out there in the Turkish Super League. Galatasaray, I don't really care. I've got no, loyalty or affiliation with any Turkish team. But Osimhen does his thing out there, wins the Turkish League, which they're probably going to do. Wins the Europa League, which would be great for Osimhen. Would be great for the profile of African strikers and African players. Make him more appreciated around the globe, even though people are starting to see his quality now. Even though I've been saying this for years, Arsenal should sign him. He does that. Arsenal ain't going to win the Champions League. They ain't going to win the Premier League. Not with this manager. So they sack him eventually, whether it's after Villa or whenever they want to sack him. They sack him. Then they bring in Allegri, who is a world-class manager available now. And then you let Allegri identify with all of his experience and knowledge and know-how, the players he wants, and he builds the team he wants. That's what I think should happen. And then Arsenal fans give Allegri the time he needs to be successful. Because you've given this manager enough time and he hasn't been successful yet. So come off the cult following, support your team, support what's right for your team, and actually be able to identify people that are of the caliber that is necessary to do the job for this club. Players and management, people in management positions. So yeah, 2 big games coming up. Spurs in the Premier League tomorrow. North London derby. That's going to be a big game. I'm trying to go about doing a watch along. So the first watch along on this channel, which will be fun. So if I can get things together before tomorrow, I will be doing a watch along for that game. So this is going to end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. All that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment because I love to hear other people's views and where they're at. so we can have that dialogue and have those discussions and have those healthy, debates. Leave a comment, and I'll see you very, very soon for the next one. Peace, guys. Peace and love. Have a good day.